Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today we are going to be doing another episode of the Dual EP reviews. So as you've probably seen on the thumbnail, we have the split EP, the Aggression Sessions, and the EP New Lows by a band called Downswing. So without any further ado, we're going to jump straight into the Aggression Sessions, which is EP 1 of today. So, for those of you that might be unfamiliar with the Aggression Sessions, this is technically part 2 of a little series of EPs so far. The first was a 3-split EP with Fit for an Autopsy, who are still on this one. The Art is Murder, who were still on this one, and the Acacia Strain, who got swapped out for Malevolence in this version. And the first EP goes under the Depression Sessions. So, like I said, Acacia Strain pop out in this one, and Malevolence come in to say hello with the same formula as the first EP as well. So each band performs one brand new song that they've made especially for the EP, and they choose a song and they cover it. So last time in the Depression Sessions, The Art is Murder had a new song called They Will Know Another, and they covered Rammstein's Du Hast, I believe it was. Acacia Strain had their song Sensory Deprivation, and they covered Black Hole Sun, which I believe is Soundgarden. I forgot to actually write the name of the band down in my list here. And then finally, the ones that kind of, I think, put all the EP together are Fit for an Autopsy, who they made Flatlining for the Depression Sessions, and they covered The Perfect Drug, which, again, I forgot to find what band or artist originally performed that, but it is a very good cover. So, with that being said, and you have a bit of like history on this EP series so far, let's dive into this edition and see what there is for us to enjoy. Starting off with track 1, Hellions, which is Fit for an Autopsy's original song. And this is 4 minutes and 13 seconds. So, the first track is, like I said, a new Fit for an Autopsy song, which I believe might have also been used as a single to kind of hype up the EP. It starts fast, very quick drums, matched very well pace-wise with the guitars. Joe Badatello, his vocals managed to keep up with this like very fast, aggressive pace, which as you progress through this, you'll kind of see that is like a theme throughout. So in the Aggression Sessions, each song is kind of fast-paced, aggressive, like very, very, very much like this badass, hardcore, just like, we're here thing. That was explained so poorly, but I am still half asleep, so you will have to bear with me. Yeah, and with this song, I especially enjoyed the section where it goes, God is your prison, release your demons, caged fucking animals, begging to die a perfect death. Caged fucking animals, begging to die a perfect death. So, yeah, that is the opener, and it is a very solid opening track at that. And like I said, this is very quickly followed up by track number 2, Until There Is No Longer, which is The Art is Murder. And this is 3 minutes and 41 seconds long. So the second song here is with The Art is Murder, And this was back with CJ McMahon before the controversy with his social media usage, him being removed from the band, the way that they went about removing him from the band, his replacement and stuff like this. As far as this song goes, it's very paint by numbers for the lyrics. It's your typical, like, thy art is murder, the world is fucked, humans are fucked, like, that doesn't take away from the very solid vocals from CJ, the very good drum work and guitar work, and the really cool bridge breakdown setup towards the end. I thought was especially a very good ending for this song. Just, if I'm being honest, it's not my favourite Thy Art is Murder track. It's good, but it's not one I would put in my top 5 by any stretch of the means. Let's have a quick cheeky drink break. We'll leave that in. So, moving on, we have track 3, the final of the tracks made for this EP. So, this is Waste of Myself by Malevolence. And this is, I think it was like 3 minutes and 20 seconds or 3 minutes 21 seconds. So Malevolence take the 3rd position, and before this, I honestly wasn't 100% sure who Malevolence were. I'd heard the name, but I hadn't actually listened to a full album, or didn't think to check them out before listening to the EP. Like I said, I'm doing this review a lot later. Like I said, the EP's been out for quite a while now. I'm very behind on stuff like this. But yeah. The vocals have a very hardcore / metal mashup. The guitars, again, very fast paced. The drum work is beautifully banging, and lyrically it's not as dense looking at it through as the prior 2 tracks were. Which doesn't really mean anything if the song is good. And honestly, this was a very good introduction, I think, to Malevolence for me. A very good track nonetheless. Very solid addition. Like I said, I don't really know the ins and outs of why Acacia Strain weren't on this one and why Malevolence was chosen. I assume it might be something to do with record labels or touring and stuff like this, but that's just me assuming. But if they're going to do a 3rd installment of the Sessions EP at a later date, if they're going to keep changing people out, I'll be very intrigued to see who gets brought in next, and after the drama, if they will keep Thy Art is Murder in the rotation, or if they'll swap them out as well. It's going to be an interesting one. So, without dawdling, track number 4, Under a Serpent's Sun. Just shy of 4 minutes long, this one, and this is Fit for an Autopsy's cover of, I believe it's a song by At the Gates, a band I, again, know of, but haven't really sat down and listened to a full album of theirs. I know one of my mates who's like an old school metalhead, like he grew up with older bands. He has told me about them and said they're pretty good. The first minute of this song is a very aggressive, fast-paced, full front sounding instrumental build up into the song's vocals, which felt a little bit pushed back in the mix to give it that old school feel. I don't know if this was done intentionally or not, but other than that, I couldn't really tell you too much. The song was alright, it just, I don't know. It didn't feel like the Fit for an Autopsy sound worked with it, if that makes sense. I don't know. Like, their cover of, was it The Perfect Drug, I said, in the first one? Yeah, their cover of The Perfect Drug in the first EP was superb. But yeah, this one just kind of felt a bit flat for me. So moving on, we have track 5, which is Thy Art Is Murder's cover of Hammer Smashed Face by Cannibal Corpse, which is just over 4 minutes long. So this is Thy Art, covering, of course, death metal legends Cannibal Corpse. So you already know it's probably going to be good, even if they've phoned it in. And the low bass line that they use around the 20-second mark in the intro is oh so good and chonky. They tried to keep the vocals very similar to the OG version, which I believe back when Hammer Smash Face dropped, it was Chris Barnes before he was shit. Yeah. Overall, it's a good modernized take on a classic, but they've tried to do it in a way that keeps that classic feel, very similar to what Fit for an Autopsy did, but I think they've managed to do it better with this song. And like I said, they still managed to add that typical Thy Art Is Murder flair to the classic style. They give it a bit more of that aggression that only the Aussie artists seem to be able to bring out, and they really do pull it off. If you're a fan of Cannibal Corpse, I definitely recommend checking it out. Yeah, very, very impressed with that one. So finally we have track 6, Left Outside Alone by Malevolence, which is 4 minutes and 37 seconds. So Malevolence seemingly covered this track originally by the artist Anastasia. I think I'm saying that correct. Which we've seen other artists cover, like Blind Channel, and the vocal delivery here at parts is very odd. It sounds very strained, very almost forced. I don't know. Yeah, it's a tad odd, honestly, at the start, until we go back to the more hardcore metal-inspired guttural-esque sounds that he was making in the prior song. It's a decent cover, like I said, it has great instrumentation. The vocals were jarring at first, but after I've listened to this probably a couple of times a month now since the release, it's definitely grown on me a little bit more as it was. So yeah, there's that. So with that being said, that is the Aggression sessions done, and in order of my favourite to least favourite, we've got 1, Hellions, 2, Hammer Smash Face, 3, Until There Is No Longer, 4, A Waste of Myself, 5, Under a Serpent's Sun, and 6, Left Outside Alone. So with that being said, we will be moving on to Downswing now and their EP New Lows. So this band I discovered by scrolling my Instagram reels one day, and their song No Solution was played as an advert, and that is off of this EP. So I was like, let's just take a look at them, listen to the full song. So I searched them up on YouTube, heard No Solution, and was like, shit, these guys are actually pretty fucking good. So I decided, if I hadn't heard of them, there might be other people out there that haven't heard of them as well. So I thought I would cover them here on my shitty little YouTube channel and try to get a bit more attention on them. So let's take a look at the full EP, starting with track 1, New Lows, which is 2 minutes and 47 seconds. The opening track is a barn burner. A solid, hard, fast pacing. Drum work is awesome. The guitar work is very, very solid, and there's like this very present guitar rhythm throughout. The vocals are really good, and it kind of gives me this vibe of Knocked Loose if they had more aggression and a deeper voiced, better vocalist. I know some people might come for my neck with that one. I've just never been a fan of Brian Garrison's voice. He sounds like SpongeBob who's been kicked in the testicles. That's just me personally. But yeah, the opening track, it was just full on mayhem. Very good opener. But that then moves quickly into track 2, which is No Solution, which is 3 minutes on the dot. And this is, like I said, the track that got me into the band. And it's fast-paced, it's angry, it has this undertone of desperation, and there's a specific section I loved where they say, everybody tells me that I should have a little more faith, so when I die, I'll see the light shining at the end of the tunnel. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. No, there's no solution. Time will not wait. No, there's no solution. And now there's no other way out. And this is delivered so well. Like, there's this like under hint of anger and desperation and almost annoyance in it. And if you're not keen on this track, you're probably not going to be keen on some of the other tracks that they have out. Like, it is just, I'm trying to think of someone I could liken it to, but I'm drawing a blank at the minute. But it is just such a good song. Although I will put out a little disclaimer here. If you watch the music video for No Solution, be careful. It will give you a disclaimer at the beginning, but there is a lot of flashing red lights and chopping and changing, so that could fuck with some people's heads. Moving on, we have track 3, Don't Bite, which is 3 minutes and 15, and disregard my prior comment. This song actually sees some seriously well-placed and crisp cleans come out to play, to my sheer surprise, honestly, which are still mixed with their heavier vocals from the other tracks. But this shit slapped hard, and it's such a good song, and that's why I don't have more written down about it. I played it once, wrote down fuck all, played it twice, got lost in the song again. So I was just like, right, I'm going to write something before I listen to it for a third time. And still only ended up with about 6 lines to say about it, even though it's a good song. Yeah. I think that says enough. Finally, we have track 4, Kick Rocks, which is about 3.5 minute song. And it starts with Kick Rocks, motherfucker. This is action from start to finish with chuggy, choppy instrumentals, the harder vocals with cleans interspersed into the chorus, again, very tastefully done. The breakdown is oh so fucking sweet, with a scathing send-off of "One day I hope that the world makes you stop and assess yourself. Kick rocks, you'll reap what you sow, you bastard." So here we are. It's time to round up the best tracks of this EP. So this one's a little shorter than Aggression Sessions. So with that, I'd say this one goes No Solution, Kick Rocks, Don't Bite, New Lows, in that order. Very, very solid EP. Very hard to actually choose my top 4 tracks because I enjoyed all of them. But yeah, very good band. Go check them out. Go check out the Aggression Sessions if you haven't heard it already. And I'll see you back here for the next video in 2 Fridays' time, which should be Spite's album review of Dedication to Flesh. And remember, stay safe out there, my friends. Fucking hell.